I'm getting bit right there, matter of fact. There we go, got one. It is super windy here in Central Texas. As you can see down here, the water rippling and the things are flying around. Well, today I'm gonna show you an old school technique that works extremely well in this super windy environment. It's old school, but it works very well. It's heavy finesse fishing, and I'm gonna show you right here, right now on Pro-Am Outdoors. Now, for this heavy finesse fishing that's great in winds, when you want to finesse fish, all you need is terminal tackle, a package of lightweight worms, and we'll show you how to get rigged up right here for this heavy wind fishing situation. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and get the tackle that we're going to use out. We're going to use these baby brush hogs right here. You can also use a straight shank worm. That works extremely well, and something rib body like this lizard or just a French fry. But we're going to go ahead and use this today, and we want to find the right hook for that situation. For this particular fishing that we're going to use a lightweight 2/0 nice hook right here. If you can see it, it's a nice light 2/0 hook. This one's by Gamakatsu. I love their style because they're strong and they're super sharp. We're going to pair this up, but let's go ahead and rig it out now. It's pretty windy, so I'm going to go ahead and use this weight here, which is a brass weight. I have bigger ones in there, but this is a 1/4 ounce. I even have 1/2 ounce if I want to go even further out. You need to make sure that you get a glass bead. I'm going to get this red one here, and I'm going to get a clicker right here. I'm going to get this clicker, put it out. That's a clicker. And you're also going to need a swivel. This right here is all you need to finesse fish in heavy wind using this technique, and it's pretty simple to do. So we'll go ahead and get this rigged out for you right now, show you how it works. By the way, this is the Kastking fishing tackle storage. Just got this in, completely waterproof, one-handed opening. Works really well. If you're interested, it's completely waterproof. I have a link below on this tackle storage. You're going to need a bait cast rod with braided line on it, preferably. I have 30 pound. I wish I had 50 pound test on here. So the next step you want to do is go ahead, that's 30 pound test. You want to have a lower leader line than what the pound test is you have. So I have 14 pound fluorocarbon right here. That's going to work extremely well for the situation we're doing. What you want to do is get out about, I'll say 2 feet of line. And I have these amazing Shears right here. That's from Beyond Braid. These things I bought, they're amazing. These are also on the link below. These things are crazily sharp. Just snap the line right to. Or make sure you go to the link below to purchase them. They are really good, and they're very inexpensive. First thing to do is a swivel. Why? Because we like to use a Palomar knot on the swivel. So just go ahead and get you a Palomar knot, but always pull the tag in to tighten it up. Snap it off really good. So now you got this leader line that is empty on one end, but has the swivel on this end. So what you want to do is take your braid now. Take the braid, and you want to go ahead and add the weight first. If you've already guessed what this rig is by now, go ahead and hit me up in the comments below. Let's see who the first one does the comment. Then you want to go ahead and get the bead put on. Sometimes I use clear beads, sometimes I use reds. Today I'm using the red. Then you want to do a clicker. Okay, and it always has a hole looking on one side and the other side there. I like the hole because it gives it a ding sound that will hit on the swivel. Now, once you have that rigged out, what you want to do is go ahead and do another Palomar knot onto the other end of the swivel. And what you want to do is pull that line all the way through. There's nothing on the other end right now. That's a safety way to do it. Now with braid, you can pull the main line because it's not going to mess up. And then what you want to do is snap it. Watch how cool these scissors are again. Just snap, boom. It's so sharp. Best Shears scissors I ever used. Now, this is the leader line that's going to be here. This is your weight. This weight right here will stop at the swivel and it will give it a clickety-click sound. Now, based on the structure or what you're fishing is how long you leave the leader line. Out in a pond, I actually like only about a foot and a half of leader lines. So now we got the small hook. This is what's finesse. It's lightweight and the weight is up on it. So we'll go ahead and get this hooked up right now with another Palomar knot, which I like better. You do your Palomar knot correctly, everything works out great. I always use my fingers like that so that that knot can pull up and over the eye, just like that. Works great. Now you see, because I pulled the tag in, this line is actually straight right here. And if you hadn't guessed it already, this is called a Carolina rig. I got a shorter leader on it, and the reason I like fluorocarbon because it has less stretch, but it has a little bit of shock resistance to it if you need it. Now we'll go ahead and put the lure on. This is a California 420 baby brush hog. We want to go ahead and put it on, but I have a trick for Carolina rig. You want to go finesse. What I do is I like to cut off the flappers like this because you're not pitching and flipping. You want it to be as light as possible for finesse fishing. And I'll go ahead and cut off the arms on it. Now, what you got here is a lightweight lure that will fall slowly behind it. You can do one tail or two tails. I'm gonna start out with two tails and I may just cut one of the tails off. But this right here has caught me tons and tons of fish doing this exact technique right here with a baby brush hog. So now we're gonna go ahead and take this technique and put it in the water and see if we can't catch a bass. Put these up. So now that we got that done and I got a little bit of spike on the tail, we're just going to go ahead and take it and cast it out and see what we do. Now the reason this technique works so well is because you got a heavy weight on the end and that floats up and down, and you can launch it a long ways to cover a lot of water and depth. Now where a lot of people make a mistake with a Carolina rig is they don't set up their rod properly. You need to set it where it slowly rolls out so that that line can fall slowly like this, because when you whip this heavy line out, if it's set too loose, you're going to jerk that line and backlash every time. So make sure you set your reel up where it goes down slowly like that, and you'll make really good accurate casts. Also, when you're doing a Carolina rig, you want to side swipe everything, barely move it just a little bit like this. You just want to reel up your slack and barely twitch it along, barely twitch it a little bit at a time. And what that does is it just moves, it makes it jump up and down and does all kind of erratic action, but you're slow moving that heavy weight on the bottom while that light lure is floating in behind it. Works extremely well in many situations, especially when it's super windy out. You can feel everything on the bottom. It's great for a search bait. Works extremely well. You don't whip it out there. You let the weight do the work by just pendulum. Let it go over. What you want to do is have that weight moving with the line on it, because you got all this line out here. You just want to lob it out there is all you want to do. Just lob it out there. A little bit of jerk as I'm moving it, that's making that weight and those clickers and that bead go tickety tick, tickety tick. And that can drive a fish nuts if they hear that. All right, let's give this a try. Yeah, there's a lot of trash in that point right there. Now, another thing you can Carolina rig is a fluke or a small jerk bait, especially one that looks just like a minnow. You hook it where it's flat down instead of upright like you'd swim it, flat, because it looks like a dime minnow as that falls down. That's another good one. That works really good when they're chasing bait fish. Man, that one works really good on a Carolina rig. There we go, got one here on the Carolina rig. So, saw how I side swiped that hook. That's how you do that. Little bitty fish, but you know what? Hey, he bit. Carolina rig, light worm. Remember, this little technique works really, really well. It's a heavy way of fishing, finesse style. Try it when it's really windy. If you like this kind of content, go down and subscribe. We'll really appreciate it. This is Marcus Moros with Pro Am Outdoors. Keep your line wet, your hook sharp. We'll see you next time.